everybody. If you're tuning into this channel, you must be eclectic because we are a little bit of everything. All right, great. Today we're going to be doing a mukbang. But before we go ahead and do so, we wanted you to subscribe and click the bell below so we can continue in a little bit of everything channel. There's a lot of things coming up, but first I wanted to show you what the mukbang is. We're going to be eating from Taco Bell tonight. And what we have here is basically a nacho burrito. And this is a 12 pack, but I only have a couple left, because I got a little hungry earlier. But we got into it as a family, but a little bit of everything is here. And we're sorry, I was just laughing because I didn't film before the mukbang, so I thought to make it easier on the audience to know. So we had a little bit of everything before, but now we have a little bit more here, which is the nacho burrito local tacos. And here, my puppy may come in and out of her shackle. Say hi. How are you? This is the Doritos Nachos. This is the cheese one, but unfortunately we don't have cheese. For some in the household that don't want cheese, we can get it. And then we have, Doritos tacos with just meat and shredded lettuce, which I find to be the best that there is. So this also tonight we're going to be talking about, like, as we do the mukbang challenge. We have relationship goals, which is, we joke around a little bit because we're a little bit of everything here. Please subscribe and click the bell below. And after you're done, would you comment on what y'all would like to be called? Because, we had basically called you, eclectic when you came in, but we want you to name yourselves. It's kind of like a democracy. We want you to have a voice, and you have the most important voice in a little bit of everything. So this is for y'all. But tonight my wife came up with an idea to reach out to the men out there, which is relationship goals. And we both will be doing a little bit of everything in this. And basically, let me take my first bite here. In the mukbang challenge, I know that you're supposed to eat and make noise, so that's a good thing. That's very good. Thank goodness for Taco Bell. And I have my Dasani water. We like to save that till the end, though, for the full effect, after the 10 tacos that we had. So basically, with this mukbang tonight, we're going to be taking a look at relationship goals, and my wife and I were discussing this. On our channel, we have a little bit of everything. And the channel basically consists of, my wife's going to be doing her hair tutorial. Excuse me. I love the Dorito taco, I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm going to try to keep going because it's a little bit of everything tonight, the mukbang. So she has her hair tutorial on there, even her cover. Please subscribe right now if you can. If you already like what you see, keep it going. Subscribe and then hit the bell, and then tell us what your name would like to be on our channel. So we're going to keep the mukbang going. I ponder about these things, and I realize that, like, men out there need to know one thing about relationships, and I'm not an expert. Forgive me. I'm trying to learn how to follow this myself, so I don't want to be, like, extra when I say this, but I learned tips over the years on what we call, my wife came up with this idea called how to listen to your wife. This is food for thought now. Now, basically, food for thought, I call how to listen to your wife. Now everyone will see this, and please subscribe and click the bell below. And then write the name of who you want to be called in our A Little Bit of Everything, show here, the YouTube channel. But this YouTube channel takes a look at things like relationships as well, and even on this I may do the piano, like give a tutorial on that myself. We're going to have a little bit of everything in our tutorial. We're going to, our YouTube channel has tutorials as well as music, poetry. It's got a lot. It's got a little bit of everything. But tonight we have relationship goals. And we found that the most important thing for men to know is how to listen to your wife. Now, most people would say, well, that's pretty easy. You just listen. Wrong. Now, yes, it's important to just listen. But I found, number one, the key point tonight is that you have to actively listen. Food for thought. And if I didn't introduce myself, I'm Paul. How are you? So, now what do you mean by that, sir? Well, actively listening is actually not saying a word. That means that, like, for those that are like talkative men, or even those that are humble people, like quiet people, she needs a voice. That's a subtitle of this right here. First, it's actively listening because why? She needs a voice. Key point on this is to actively listen. Engage in conversation. Just like when you first met her, you used to look into her eyes. You used to look at like the different parts of her just to get to know her. But what you want to get to know her about, that's how you keep her. A good friend of mine told me that once. It says when you, I'm sorry if my puppy's in the way here. Okay, my camera person's telling me no, thank you. That's what I want to keep her about right now. Is when you want to get to know somebody, when you first meet somebody. In fact, the truth is, excuse me, I want to make sure I keep eating too. I hope you can hear it. Alright, if you like what you hear so far, subscribe and click the bell below. And then tell us your name. Subscribe, sorry about the food in my mouth. Subscribe, click the bell below for the notifications, and keep this going. And then tell us your name. We introduce ourselves as a little bit of everything. Who are you? So, when you get to know somebody, in fact, they say that when you have basically like, when you meet a stranger, they say you strive to treat that stranger better than actually your spouse. Like if you meet somebody on the street, you go, "Hey, how are you?" And you say, "Thanks a lot for like filling up the gas tank for me." You have now treated that person better than your own spouse. In fact, your best friend in the world, sometimes, and I'm not saying you do, I'm saying this is what the world says in general, you treat strangers better than your loved ones. And that's sad to me, because that's truth sometimes. If you find that that's you, excuse me, my challenge is to make sure that you actively listen to what your wife is saying. Now, men, I say this is for you, but you could share this with your husbands, wives, or if you find this works for you, that it's good to make sure that you also take this in for yourself. This is a little knowledge that we have here, and or a little bit of everything. So if you take this with you, I'm about to finish my taco, so I'm going to go to taco number 2. But please subscribe and click the notification bell, and then tell us your name. Okay, so that's the end of the taco. But I still got a little lettuce here. So we want to make sure everything's off the plate too. That's number 1. And then number 2, active listening because she needs a voice. Now, because she needs a voice, she may have gone, she is your spouse as well, or however the situation may be. This is your wife, this is your girlfriend, whoever it is that you want to apply this to. You have to actively listen to her. Engage in conversation without saying words. That means that body language. When you were, you wanted to get to know her like in that way, you didn't say anything. You looked at her and you're like, oh, okay. But nowadays, when she has something important to say, what does that mean to you? Are you looking at her eye language? Is she angry? Is she vexed with you? Is she saying something over and over and over again to you? This is what I find is true for men in general. Women have to say something to a man about 5 to 10 times before they get it. It's not that we're not listening, it's just that with proactivity in the brain, it takes longer for us to understand something than it does a woman. That's why the maturity level of a man is 55 years of age. But for us men that are married, we have to mature immediately when we say I do. And some people take longer than others. I find that the maturity level of a married man is faster than a married, like a single man at 55. Because you have to adapt to other people's feelings and emotions, excuse me. Well, we're going to hold that off. I said we were going to wait till the end. So now I'm going to clean my plate. So why does she need a voice so much? Because you are supposed to be the one she comes to in the midst of a storm. You are supposed to be the strength. In fact, it says that you're supposed to be, she is the weaker vessel, or the weaker person. That means that you're supposed to be the strong one for her. But if you're just as weak as she is, you're not understanding her. These relationship goals, we want to get men to understand how to listen to their women. So in actively listening, that means that I'm engaging now in everything she's saying, and I'm not faking it either. I'm not like, yes, honey, yes, that's great, oh my God. No, I'm listening and I'm putting it in here. I'm putting it in here. And I'm understanding that, like, there's a reason why she said this over and over to me today. In fact, this is why she keeps telling you over and over for a reason. Women tell men something specifically because, excuse me, because they want you to know it. If she did not want you to know something that's important to her, she wouldn't tell it to you. Okay. See, that was also actively listening. My wife's on camera teaching me how to do the mukbang. That's all right. So the next part, I'm going to go on to actively listening, and also she needs a voice because she has an important thing to tell you. If you get to the point where your wife tells you something over and over again, that means that she needs you to either change it or accept it. If you're not willing to change or accept it, that means that you got a problem. And as you go forward, actively listening also takes a matter of quieting yourself. Listening to what she says is the most important thing because sometimes you're the only person that she has to tell it to. There may be things at her job that are causing problems. Her family may be causing problems, excuse me. Or even like, just friends causing problems. Or maybe just she's lonely. Or, oh, or the truth is that you just have to let her speak. And the best way to do that, I find, is two things. We're going to sum this up because we may have another section for this. Coming back on another mukbang because this is a long topic. So I want to get through this and get these two tacos done. Please click the subscribe and the notification bell. But right now, as you do so, put your name down there and tell us what you want to be called. But also, as you actively listen, you also have to do two things, which is number one, have a 30-second rule. If you drop food on the floor, there's a 10-second rule that you have to pick it up and eat it. When she's done talking, give yourself 30 seconds. Some people, if you're a talkative person like I am, give yourself 45 seconds. Why? Challenge yourself this and watch what happens. If you let her speak for within that 30 seconds, you're going to find she has something else to say. Even the pace of a conversation goes upon how you listen. And number two that I find is most important, do not interject. Because once you interject with a an interruption may come afterwards. And that means that, like, if she's saying something important and you say, yes, those are off. So it throws off the whole conversation. The best way to listen to somebody is not to say anything at all. Just to be quiet. And I find, one more thought here. Please, please tell your friends about our channel and subscribe to it. And click the notification bell and leave your names, what you'd like to be called. So we're going to end this mukbang very soon. And we just wanted to thank you for taking the time with us. Peace and love. Today's relationship goal for men is how you can start to learn to listen to your wife.